And joining us now to give more perspective on the races and how it could impact the midterms is NewsNation political editor Chris Steyerwalt. Chris, great to see you. And I want to ask, what's your biggest takeaway from last night's primary races?
Well, you can't argue with what happened in Kansas. Think about it this way. There were more than 700,000 people who voted in the statewide election for governor, a lot more Republicans than Democrats, but 720, 730,000 people. Another 200,000 people or more came out to vote on that referendum that didn't vote in either party. So think about that. Here are a third of the electorate. Here's a third of the electorate in this who don't come out for either party, but just come out for this issue. The message to Republicans on this has to be crystal clear, which is this is a motivating force for unlikely voters. The challenge that the party in power always has in midterms, and particularly Democrats, is how do we get our voters to really mobilize and go to the polls? Republicans have a better track record, and certainly the midterm curse helps the party out of power to motivate voters to the polls. Here's an issue that we just saw in real time motivate a huge number of voters in an otherwise forgettable primary.
Yeah, and I mean, meanwhile, political analysts have been predicting a GOP takeover in Congress in November. Do last night's results change that prediction for you?
No. The Republicans, it would take several more earthquakes for the Republicans not to take over the House. They only need 5 seats. The average for a president's first midterm since Ronald Reagan is 28 seats. And given it, as you mentioned before, the inflation and the other problems, it's not surprising. But what you see in these other primary results, you see it in Arizona, where the Republicans are going to screw up or may screw up a good chance to pick off a vulnerable Senate Democrat, just as Republicans seem to be trying to do down in Georgia with Herschel Walker. These divisions inside the Republican Party and a lot of these super flaky candidates, that's good news for Democrats. On the other hand, two members of Congress who voted to impeach Donald Trump, they made it through their primaries in Washington state. And the news for Republicans in Missouri is really good. Eric Greitens was bad news, and he didn't just lose, he finished third.
Absolutely. And I mean, some are saying, and would you agree, Chris, that these midterms are somewhat of a referendum on President Biden? And also, what would a red wave in November mean for the next 2 years of his administration?
Well, everything would stop. Now, the real question with Biden is he going to run again? And the speculation in Washington is growing. First about Nancy Pelosi, but also about Joe Biden. When does she step down? When does he declare that he's not going to run again? None of those questions can really be answered until after midterms. It would be wrong of them, be political malpractice to make any statements now. But certainly Democrats are in a holding pattern right now, waiting for Biden to make his intentions clear. But certainly as a lame duck president, he would have some problems with political salesmanship, but would also have a lot of freedom. He could make deals, he could do stuff, and have a productive final 2 years of his presidency instead of just fighting with Kevin McCarthy and getting impeached, which I'm sure the House Republicans would immediately move to do when they take over the House.
All right, Chris Steyerwalt, always great to see you. Thank you so much for your time.
You bet.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.